A very, very good badminton umpire, has been recognized by the Badminton Federation worldwide, and I've had the pleasure of watching him officiate in many matches. Here he is now, giving last minute instructions to the players here. Prakash wanting to make sure that all the players are clear as to how many points the game is going to be, because he doesn't want to extend the match too much, I'm sure. He wants the tournament, after having the tournament concluded so successfully, would like a brief and short exhibition match here. Their game about to commence. Deepika Padukone serving to Amer Khan. Meanwhile, I'd like to remind the viewers, all 5 matches having concluded here on the final day of the Tata Open. The day started with the mixed doubles final, which was won by Arun Vishnu and Aparna Balan. They upset the top seeds V. Diju and Ashwini Ponappa here. And the women's singles final was won by Sayali Gokhale. She beat Neha Pandit. I'll come back to that later. Now this exhibition game starting here. Deepika Padukone serving to Amer Khan. And there was Prakash returning very well. Aparna, of course, playing a brilliant game always. She hasn't lost any of her magic touch. 9 times national women's singles champion, says it all. Amer Khan not serving as well as he acts. Probably a better actor. I'd heard he's a good player. Maybe he'll improve as this game comes up. Aparna Popat there on his side, so I think he has a good chance against this father-daughter duo. Yeah, that was a good shot, Amir. Crowd loving it. The crowd's just loving this. Fun game here. Cheering all the 4 celebrities. Milind pointing out to me that he's got a tennis posture. I was telling you, Milind, that he is a good tennis player. It's his main game basically, and badminton over the recent years he's taken up basically to improve his fitness, and that would definitely tempt me to go on to my zoology of badminton and the demands this game has. Believe it or not, this is the most demanding game. It demands maximum fitness. It's more than any other game. You take a racket game or you take any game, whether it's cricket or soccer. This game today demands maximum fitness, whether it's in terms of stamina, speed, reflexes. It's just the most wonderful game ever.
Well, a good rally here, and Aparna Popat, there you say, ranked as high as world number 16 at one time. Aparna Popat alongside Amer Khan in the celebrity match, father-daughter duo of Prakash Padukone and Deepika Padukone. Well, Amer Khan showing almost Lagan-like resolve over there. But he has the advantage of being partnered by 9 times national champion Aparna Popat. This is All England winner 1980, Prakash Padukone. Prakash, one of the highest ranked badminton player from the country, world number 1.
Anil, that's why I go back to the principles of Baron Pierre de Coubertin of 1852 of getting people together on one platform, and I don't think there can be any better platform than sports, because you don't have sportsmen going and acting. There could be very few if you really count them, but you can look at the number of sportsmen who take to sports, as you rightly mentioned, for physical fitness. The actors, absolutely. And you did mention about fitness, because this is a game like tennis, which is played by people who are 65 and 70 years old just to keep fit. They play doubles, they may not play singles, but certainly badminton and tennis are 2 games which is universally played for fitness. And as you said, the regimes or the demands of badminton are so much. But look at these out there. They haven't shown any huffing or panting or puffing. Just goes to show that perhaps they play so much of badminton more as a recreation, and that keeps them so fit. And fitness in today's world, because of so much of stress and strain, fitness has become so important.
Yes, Milind rightly pointed out tennis and badminton, two very demanding games. But as I was saying, badminton, to my mind, is definitely the most demanding game. Yes, it's showing they're all seeming to be fit. Prakash, even today, of course, very fit. And although Amir, not by profession, badminton player or a sports person, as you pointed out, Milind, definitely fit because he does play badminton for recreation, and in the process, of course, gets fit. And here, of course, I would like to resume my part about the matches that we've had so far. I had mentioned the mixed doubles final, which was won by Arun Vishnu and Aparna Balan, upsetting V. Diju and Ashwini Ponappa, and the women's singles final won by Sayali Gokhale versus Neha Pandit. The women's doubles final was brilliantly played again by Aparna Balan and Shruti Kurian, the number 1 seeds. They beat Nitya Sosle and Pradnya Gadre of Maharashtra. Nitya Sosle, of course, of Karnataka. And the men's doubles final was won by the number 1 seeds, Rupesh Kumar and Sanave Thomas. They were stretched the distance by the young Arun Vishnu and Tarun K. Brilliant performance by the youngsters. Went into 3, in fact. And the men's, the men's singles final, of course, was won by the number 1 seed again, Chetan Anand, beating Anand Pawar again. The match going into 3. A brilliant singles final we were treated to here. Meanwhile, this exhibition game continues. Prakash Padukone and Deepika Padukone on one court, facing off against Amir Khan and Aparna Popat. Aparna Popat, of course, the legendary Aparna Popat, women's singles champion, national women's singles champion 9 times. And on the other end, Prakash Padukone, legendary men's singles player. Both legends here, accompanying Bollywood celebrities. Deepika Padukone, his daughter, and Amir Khan on the other side, partnering Aparna Popat.
Well, Anil, we spoke about Prakash Padukone and Pulela Gopichand, the 2 men who have won the coveted All England crown. We'd also like to remember there was another Prakash Nath, who reached the finals of the All England many years back. So, very few players, and Prakash Padukone, in fact, went on to win the world crown also. That was the following year, 1981. That was a golden period for Indian badminton. This is Amir Khan. Well, showing that how fit is. Anil spoke about the importance of fitness in today's world full of stress and strain. And no better game than badminton to keep yourself fit. Cricketers of the stature of Sunil Gavaskar plays badminton quite regularly at the Bombay Gymkhana. Aparna Popat showing even in this tournament that she might have been out of action for some time, but as she showed in those mixed doubles, she lost, if I remember correctly, in the quarterfinals, showing that she's not lost any of her skills. As they say, class is permanent, form may be temporary. Well, Amir Khan, I just get the feeling growing in confidence in the company of Aparna Popat. The father-daughter pair on the other side. I'm sure Prakash might be remembering the early days when I'm sure he would have given coaching lessons to very young Deepika. Deepika herself having played the state juniors before she switched over to modeling and the cine world.
There in that rally, Kishore, we saw glimpses of Prakash of yore, and of course Deepika playing a very good shot too at the net.
Well, the crowd's enjoying it. They had an evening which was filled with excellent badminton, following it up with the celebrity match between the father-daughter pair in the far court, Prakash Padukone and Deepika. And in the near court, 9 times national champion Aparna Popat partnering Amir Khan. And it's been a packed house at the Cricket Club of India's new laid courts, the state-of-the-art badminton courts here. 4 courts in all. And this is the center court where all the finals were played this afternoon. Well, that was a shot Amir Khan can call all his own. What was it, Anil? A flick or was it a...
Kishore, well, firstly, I didn't really see it. I think Prakash objecting, this is what my impression was too, that the racket had crossed the net, and point being awarded to Deepika and Prakash here. Milind, meanwhile, has joined us in the commentary box. So, Milind, I think you have something to say to us.
Yes, since you're talking of Prakash, go back to that 70th All England Championship in 1980, which we all know, but it's more historic because it was the first Open All England where there was £1,000 of prize money for the men's singles winner. The Indonesian aura of invincibility, in fact, waned when Prakash half smashes, one said, it shattered limb sweeping. Then after that, Anil, go back to a tournament which was the Friends Providence Masters Open, where Prakash Padukone played Morton Frost, his good friend. And can you imagine the scores there? 15-4, 15-11. That, of course, was the era when they played those 15-point gamers. And then it was the Commonwealth Games 1978 when Prakash Padukone beat Derek Talbot of England 15-9, 15-8. Of course, how can you forget 4 years later, 1982, it was Syed Modi who beat Nick Yates. So that was an era when you had Padukone and Syed Modi. Then that void when Gopi Chand came in for a bit of time. And now, of course, we've been talking about this today while we're looking at this match out here. Indian badminton today getting the best ever news with Saina Nehwal now moving up to 6. Anil, if you remember in Hyderabad when we were broadcasting, honestly, I felt that she would languish around 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10. And she's, I think, proved all of us wrong, and she will continue to prove us wrong. I think there won't be a happy day for us when she moves to 5, 4, and who knows to 1, because the Chinese are always there. The Chinese are a factory which keeps on churning out sportsmen, and badminton is no exception. But Saina Nehwal, of course, 6 today. I think there couldn't have been better joy from an Indian sports perspective, leave alone badminton.
Milind, now in this brief couple of minutes that you just spoke, you've talked a lot of things about legends, absolutely. So you ended, of course, with Saina, but you started with Prakash, who's on screen now. And what a legend, brilliant, absolutely. In fact, you mentioned his matches against Lim Swee King and Morton Frost Hansen. It was, in fact, to a large extent, playing in Denmark that polished his game. He had the good fortune to train in the company of Morton Frost and others there, and eventually, of course, polishing his game to a huge extent there. Yes, Milind?
And Anil, that was the time when there were no sponsors, so it's difficult to compare eras. It's not fair to compare eras because they all talk of is Federer the greatest, is Sampras the greatest, is Lever the greatest, or is Don Budge or Perry the greatest. Each era, in every sport. I'm not getting cricket here at all, but certainly tennis or badminton. So you'll never have a pinpoint saying that Prakash was or wasn't. Nandu Natikar during his time, and some of the others, George and yes, absolutely. But that was the era when there was no money and they had to go and fend for themselves. Today, at least, I'm saying these players have that extra advantage of sponsors and others chipping in to make sure that they can travel around the globe and get some better facilities and better training.
Absolutely, Milind. That's a huge point that you made, and we have to then again give more credit to Prakash. I mean, I was actually running short of breath in my praise for him as it is. But yes, he deserves as much praise as possible. This man, a legend absolutely, and deserving of as much praise as possible, because as you pointed out, Milind, it was in an era when there were no sponsorships, hardly any international exposure. Which, I mean, if you compare today's generation, gets the benefit of. And Prakash, in those absolutely adverse circumstances, he had literally nobody in India because on the domestic circuit he really couldn't get anywhere near the level required to compete at a tournament of the stature of All England. So he somehow or the other managed to do what he did, and God knows how he did it, honestly. I mean, when he did it, he took the whole badminton world by storm. I mean, we in India obviously were delighted, but it was a surprise nevertheless. No matter how pleasant it was a surprise. And it's, again, I mean, I'll go back to giving credit to this man. I mean, he's a brilliant, brilliant player. In fact, when he beat players like Lim Swee King, he had a definite disadvantage in terms of whether it was athletic ability or whether it was the power, whether it was a smash. He lacked a lot in those areas, but he more than made up for it in terms of tactics, his skill, whether it was a touch play, as you might call it. It was delectable drop shots and excellent court coverage and superb placements that stood him instead against players like Lim Swee King.
And the other factor is we keep on talking of humility and being having your legs on Mother Earth. I don't think there's any other sportsman or a better example than Prakash Padukone. He always had his head on his shoulders, never allowed them to droop, never allowed them to with the grace that he had, go around tom-tomming that I am the All England champion. And even today, when you speak to him and when we speak to him, no one would really guess that he has been an All England champion. If Anil, and I'm sure you agree with me, if he was born in some other country, and I'm not taking anything away from this great country of ours, if he was born in let's say Indonesia or Malaysia, I think he would have been a much bigger hero than what he is. If he walks on MG Road in Bangalore, or if he walks at Nariman Point out here, I doubt whether Prakash Padukone will be recognized. So that's his humility and his entire approach to life as a human being. And that, I think, is a lesson which all of us must learn at every age, not necessarily sportsmen.
Well said, Milind. A man who's always been down to earth, very humble, a very, very good person, very, very excellent human being, Prakash Padukone. But then again, I would like to say that the other All England champion that we have here, I had mentioned P. Gopichand. Meanwhile, I'll come back to that. Meanwhile, this match is over now. This exhibition match, which was played between Prakash Padukone and his daughter Deepika Padukone on one side versus Amir Khan, man on screen here, and there the lady on screen, Aparna Popat, on the other side. So the crowd has had their fill of excellent badminton earlier in the day, and now they're full of celebrities. So the crowd really treated to a good day's play here at the newly laid courts at the Cricket Club of India in Mumbai. And I would like to come back to the point that I was making to Milind. Milind unfortunately has left the box right now. But I was talking about P. Gopichand, the other men's singles champion that we have here, the All England champion. And I would like to say that even Pulela Gopichand, a very, very humble person, in spite of winning the title like the All England men's singles, which is a title, as all badminton aficionados know, that any badminton player would give his right hand to win. Milind's back. So Milind, this is the point I was adding on to your point about Prakash Padukone's humility and being an excellent human being with his feet on earth always. I was adding the name of the other All England singles champion,